Top 10 facts you didn't know about coffee. Though nearly 80% of Americans drink coffee at least once a day, US did not make it into the top coffee-consuming countries, not even in the top 20. Try to beat Finland and Norway, whose citizens drink 15 to 20 pounds of coffee a year per capita. However, at the same time, the United States is the world's largest buyer of coffee. It is believed that coffee should be black as hell, strong as death, and sweet as love. Nowadays, coffee is the most controversial drink. There are always those who cannot live without coffee and those who think that coffee should be avoided. However, it does not matter whether you're a coffee guru or not. With no doubts, it will be interesting for you to know some of the most unusual facts about this drink. Number 1. You do not need to drink coffee to wake up in the morning. If the first thing that you do in the morning is making a cup of coffee, then slow down a bit. Your body naturally produces a hormone called cortisol. It helps you feel full of energy and fresh in the morning. This is due to the peculiarities of human body, the so-called circadian rhythms. So if you have a habit of drinking coffee in the morning, in fact, it does not help you to wake up. It is more effective to wait when the level of cortisol will decrease and drink a cup of coffee after 10 a.m. Thus, you can extend your cheerfulness for a longer time. Number 2. Coffee does not promote dehydration. Caffeine has been accused of diuretic effect, but in fact that is not entirely true. It has a diuretic effect in case when you drink it seldom. In other cases, the diuretic effect disappears as quickly as the body becomes accustomed to the effects of caffeine. Also, scientific research has shown that the coffee effect on the body depends not only on the concentration of coffee itself, but also on whether it contains caffeine or not, either natural or soluble. If you do not drink more than 2 cups of coffee a day, there will be no negative consequences. Just remember, the safe dose of caffeine for a healthy adult is 400 milligrams a day. Number 3. Coffee will help you live longer and healthier. It is the biggest source of antioxidants in the diet of an average person. It helps fight against the so-called free radicals, which can cause severe pathologies, cancer, leukemia, cardiac, renal, and hepatic insufficiencies. In addition, coffee lovers are less likely to have Parkinson, diabetes, and heart disease. The study conducted among 500,000 Europeans showed that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day reduces the risk of cancer in women, suicide in men, and the development of digestive diseases. Another study conducted among 200,000 Americans showed that drinking 2 cups of coffee a day reduces mortality by 18%. But do not forget that this is just the statistics. Before you run for the next cup of coffee, it is still necessary to consult your physician. Number 4. Coffee contains important nutrients that are necessary for survival. Does it sound too arrogant? Judge for yourself. 1 cup of coffee contains 11% of the daily recommended dose of riboflavin, 6% of vitamin B, 3% of manganese and potassium. In addition, coffee contains a considerable amount of complex organic compounds. These are proteins and amino acids that perform nutritional and energy functions in the body cells. Coffee beans are one of the rare plant products which contain essential amino acids that we usually receive from meat and fish. Such amino acids are not synthesized in the human body. They participate in the regenerative functions of cellular mechanisms and maintain our natural immunity at a sufficiently high level. Number 5. Coffee can help you burn fat. Caffeine increases working capacity and artificially invigorates the body. In addition, coffee increases metabolism by 20%. Another interesting fact is that coffee reduces dependence on sweets, blocking the corresponding receptors in the brain. Therefore, if you really want a candy, deceive your body with a cup of coffee. To make coffee work as a fat burner, it should be drunk an hour before training and not after. The best coffee drink for a quick and successful weight loss should be black and without sugar and milk. Adding cream will slow the absorption of caffeine, while sugar or milk add unnecessary calories, so only black coffee can provide the desired effect. Number 6. Coffee was discovered thanks to Ethiopian goats. The coffee's place of origin is Kaffa region, Ethiopia. Local shepherds noticed that goats which chewed coffee's small trees became playful and lively. In order to understand what is the matter with their cattle, the shepherds began to study coffee leaves and berries and tried them. They found that eating the fruit of coffee trees had an invigorating effect. By the way, coffee roasting was also discovered by chance. When burning coffee trees, people found grains in the ashes. They tried to chew them and then to cook. This is how the most popular modern drink appeared. Number 7. Coffee is grown in a strictly defined area that is called the coffee belt of planet. The coffee belt unites all the regions that have necessary conditions for the growth of coffee. Since this plant requires a lot of sunlight and heat, all coffee trees areas are located near equator. The so-called coffee belt includes about 80 countries, but only 50 of them grow coffee in fairly large quantities for export. The coffee belt is located between 10 degrees south latitude and 10 degrees north. However, there are exceptions located at a considerable distance from the equator, for example Madagascar, 19 degrees south. Due to the fact that the climate, soil composition, height above the sea level, and cultivation technologies differ, the same grade of coffee, depending on the country of origin, has different flavor characteristics and aroma. Number 8. Coffee holds the second position in the world's ranking of the best-selling goods. Only oil is ahead of coffee. The two countries with the greatest coffee consumption are Sweden and Finland, about 65 gallons per person a year. Germany reaches about 60 gallons, while the US nearly 35. Every day people consume 2.2 billion cups of coffee, and 25 million people work in the coffee industry. However, coffee is still harvested by hand. An experienced coffee picker can collect 7 baskets of beans a day, each one up to 200 pounds. The payment for this work is from $2 to $10 per basket. After the grains are dried and fried, the price of the basket increases to $110. Number 9. Caffeine helps you take a stand that is different from your own. Caffeine can have an interesting effect on the brain. In particular, it helps you to agree with an assertion that you did not agree with before. Such an effect arises because the caffeine increases the brain's ability to perceive the logic in other people's judgments. Of course, this does not mean that with a cup of coffee, you can persuade a person to do exactly what you want. Simply put, caffeine just helps you be more attentive while considering your arguments. Number 10. The most expensive coffee is made from the elephant excrements. The origin of this coffee, widely known as black ivory, is Thailand. Thai elephants are fed with coffee beans, and the beans are not completely digested in their intestines. Thus, the coffee beans leave the body together with excrement. Thanks to the process of digestion and exposure to gastric acid, the beverage from the so-treated grains has a special rich and mild flavor without the usual coffee bitterness. In addition, elephants are exclusively fed only with Thai Arabica coffee, grown at an altitude of 5,000 feet. Elephants need to eat about 35 pounds of coffee grains to produce only 1 pound of such coffee. You know what it means. Impressive price tag. A pound of such coffee starts from $800. Well, how many new facts have you discovered from our video? And what do you think about coffee in general? Are you such but-first coffee person, or do you think that it is better not to drink coffee at all? Please share your comments below, and maybe you have some new facts to share with us. In our next video, we will talk about what are the most popular products to replace sugar and whether they're indeed healthier than the white poison. Sounds interesting? Then subscribe to our channel and we'll see you next time.